Don't you forget the wickedness, the evil that they did in this world. And there's so many people they killed. Through their COVID regulations and devilish vaccines. Many were not even allowed to bury their loved ones who died because of the wickedness and atrocities of these deceptive and deceitful leaders. Those who went to the hospitals to see their loved ones were not allowed to hug them. They couldn't touch them. Don't forget. So when you hear about their threats to have energy lockdowns, you have to remember it's the same people. What they failed to achieve then, they've hoped to achieve somehow. The segregation camps don't forget them. I call them segregation and extermination camps that they built for those they said had COVID are still there.
Yes, sir.
Don't forget. Those camps are still there.
Yes, sir.
And somehow they hope to use them someday. So these are unrepentant because they're sworn to Lucifer, they're sworn to the devil to carry out his bidding. But God gave us a new sharp threshing instrument. I'm going to read it to you from the Word. I think we have one of those videos to show you where was supposed to be a funeral and a young man was trying to sit close to the mother to console the mother. And these officials who were trained to become hardened would not even let that happen. We can show that video. It's just one of so many. A lot of people actually experience this around the world. We saw these evils. Watch this. Look at the social distancing. Look at that guy moving close to sit close to the mom.
As we unite in love and friendship to...
See, he denied them, wouldn't let them sit close. Their mothers having her husband buried. They're not even allowed to sit close. That's supposed to be a funeral. And they even said in some countries and in some cities, not more than 12 are allowed.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They were so evil, so wicked. The man who gave these regulations, Anthony Fauci, when he eventually was questioned on the science behind his social distancing, he had nothing to say. He said, I just thought it out. Who would have known that he just thought it out? But I told you then.
Sir.
He's an evil man. He thought it out. And at that time, he insisted it was rooted in science. As evil as his wearing of mask was, too. I told you the reasons for the social distancing and the wearing of masks. So it's not like they were thinking of how to mitigate the spread of the disease. It wasn't anything like that. These were ideas they came up with from their cult on how to weaken the people. And the mask was a sign of subjugation. As long as you had the mask on, they knew they had you. It was their sign around the world. And these are the same people who are making suggestions on shutting down schools right now, that the world is low in energy. So reduce your travels, shut down the schools, turn off the lights. You want to listen to these same people? Already proposing lockdowns. I told you, lockdown's a euphemism for lockup.
Yes, sir.
Always remember.
Yes, sir.
They said they were locking down cities, locking down nations. I told you back then, no, that's a lie. It's a lockup, the locking up the people.
Yes, sir.
As far as they're concerned, you're being imprisoned. Well, later on, what did they say? You will not be free until you're vaccinated.
Yes.
And I said, come on. How can you tell free people they will not be free?
Yes, sir.
I told you. In their minds, you were a prisoner. You were their prisoner. They said there will be no freedom. To people who believed they were at liberty already, no freedom until everyone's vaccinated. The use of their terms were just as insulting as their actions were. So these are people who should never be allowed again to tell the world what to do. Should never give them a chance.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Because all they ever want to do is the realization of their satanic dreams. The vaccines that Pfizer give out I did say the vaccines were tested because, a lot of the scientists were saying that these were not tested because, in their professional way, You're supposed to test the vaccines for a great period of time, several years, to be sure it won't harm people. I said, no, they were tested to be sure they would harm.
Yes, sir.
They wanted to be sure.
Yes, sir.
They tested them.
Yes.
Pfizer's vaccines were tested on animals, and all the animals died.
Yes, sir.
And they went on to administer the vaccines to humans. Think about that evil. And then the guy is still running around trying to sell his medicines. I think you should be careful now when you want to buy any drug and you see the Pfizer emblem or the logo, you should drop it, because you don't know what they put in there. Or might I say, you should know what they put in there now. Yeah, because a man who was willing to kill people by the billions with a vaccine that he promoted, and when he was asked whether he had been vaccinated, no. That he didn't want to cause a shortage. How smart. How smart.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, when you see a drug with a Pfizer logo, don't take it. Don't take it. Don't take it. Because he has a vision. And his vision is the annihilation of billions of people in what they call population management. How could he do something like that? And the CDC was aware of this. The CDC was aware of this. Okay, so why did the CDC let it go on? Because the CDC was working in tandem with them.
Yes, sir.
That's why. That's the reason. We're part of it. They were supposed to be the regulators. So, working together, they agreed that the vaccine should be called experimental. So it was written in the documents, experimental. Okay, experimental. So why do you compel everybody to get vaccinated with an experimental vaccine? The legal document specified it was experimental. So why turn the whole population of the world into your guinea pigs? I read to you back then what we're going to use. God gave us something to use. In Isaiah chapter 41, from verse 15, behold, I'll make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. I said he already did it and gave it to us. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shall make the hills as chaff. Look at the next verse. Thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them, and thou shalt rejoice in the Lord, and shalt glory in the Holy One of Israel. Yes, yes, yes. We still have that new sharp threshing instrument with teeth, and we're using it. Still have it. So we're going to pray. We're going to pray, and as we have stated, we want the war to end quickly. Quickly. And Iran cannot return to what it used to be. And the gospel must have free course in Iran.
Amen.
And from Iran shall be exported the gospel throughout those regions.
Amen. Amen.
God has a plan for Iran. God has a plan for Iran. So as we pray about this, first you pray in the Holy Ghost, you pray in tongues. Pray in tongues and prophesy these words, declaring that the war will come to a quick conclusion and that Satan's agents will not be able to use it to carry out their plans for the energy lockdowns or the so-called green energy that they were trying to push on the nations. The green energy was a deception. A deception. It was all based on the idea behind climate change. And climate change is a hoax. There's no climate change. They claimed that 6% of methane in the air comes from cows. 6%. And therefore the cows should be killed. Do they even know how to calculate what they do? They even understand? They have no idea what they're talking about. It's the same people who for years claimed that cholesterol was dangerous to humans. And so be careful about cholesterol. Don't eat eggs because of cholesterol. And they have a lot of things you're not supposed to eat so that you can manage cholesterol. Then they came up with another word when they said there are two types of cholesterol. There's the good one, there's the bad one. The bad one? No. The good one? Little. What they never told you was that they had enough scientific papers on cholesterol. And every single one of those researches showed that cholesterol helped you live longer. Can you imagine that? So they buried the reports. And continued this terrible narrative. So they've been lying a long, long time. Long time. I told you, tell your friends it's time to eat eggs. Manage your salt. That's what they told you. Manage your salt. Every time you had some little trouble, they said, maybe you're taking too much salt. I thought, Lord, he said salt is not good. No. Jesus said salt is good. Come to find out, salt is used for reviving people.
Yes, sir.
Preserving health.
Yes, sir.
Think about it. All the nice things. Salt, salt, salt. These things are cheap, so they don't want you to have them. So they go back and reproduce special salt with another name and sell it to you. So you are avoiding salt at home that should have helped you, and you buy their salt with another name. You don't know it's all salt.